Yo, what's up YouTube? It's Mr.BuyTheDip back here with another video. Let's talk about today. This is as exciting as it gets. I haven't seen AMD in profit for months, and today we finally end on profit. However, I'm still not very happy with my average cost per share, basically my position in the stock. But I want to talk to you guys about why it's important to buy when the stock is low. Okay, that is when you make the money. You don't make the money when the stock is up 2, 4, 3%. The money's made months back when you're looking at the the cash flow, the income statement. You're looking at the procedure of the business, what the CEO is saying, right? You're looking at these metrics, and that's when you buy. Okay, so I bought AMD last month or almost 2 months ago, right? And I threw in more money there, and since then y'all can see where the stock has went. Now, I particularly didn't have to buy at a dip because 115 was a fair price for me. Okay, I talk about averaging down, buying simply when the stock is lower than your position in the stock, and I'm gonna go ahead and dig deeper into this in just a second. Okay, now I would say AMD is back. This is a profit-taking zone. Everybody who bought the stock around 110, 112, 115, give yourself a pat on the back, all right? Because just a month ago, we were seeing the stock as low as 108 again, right? And this is the support zone that we bounced out of. So if you like I say, 1 and 2 for confirmation. So in my video yesterday, I talked very specifically about support zones. I talk about resistance, and I talk about how AMD was hitting that 118 mark and it got smacked down again. So basically, this is the support. As y'all can see, May 13th, pay attention to 9 a.m. Okay, 109. What it does from there, it doesn't go lower. Okay, and it bounced back all the way up to 118. This is one support check. This is the second support check. Third support check. So what do we know? That is a good support zone. And if you didn't buy after the first 2 times, you were kind of in trouble. Okay, so when this formed, you could have thrown in $10,000, $5,000, and you would have been up 12% on that in the matter of a month, a few weeks, right? So that is how important not timing the market, but that's how important getting on your chart is, right? If a stock has bounced back from a certain number twice, 3 times, that is the support zone you need to enter the stock in. Okay, now rebounded 60% from early April. Okay, now these low tanks in early April came from the fear of tariffs, came from the fear of AI chips being replaced by DeepSeek and China releasing all these crazy things, right? That is more fundamental. Okay, I like to take fundamental, I like to take technical, then I like to make my decision based on both sides. Okay, so fundamental analysis is basically, being more engaged with the news. Like, for example, Jerome Powell comes in and has a speech, says something that makes the S&P 500 go down 6%. That is very, that is very common. We see that more. We see that more with big politicians and big leaders. Whenever they have something very powerful to say, stock is going to get pushed down. Okay, but I want to talk about long key support levels specifically for AMD, which is 110, 108, 109. Okay, if you can get in at this price next time around, I would consider that one of the best moves ever. Okay, because we see what it did in the past. Okay, just a month ago, the stock was at 109, May 30th. Okay, at that, and barely a month ago. Okay, let's say 3 weeks ago, the stock was at 108, 109, and from there we see the stock went to 122. I say the stock can go to 130 to 135. This is a fair price for the stock by the end of 2025. I'm going to hold AMD if Nvidia doesn't get shot back down. So you have to pick and choose. If you look at Nvidia is doing its thing as well. AMD runs up, Nvidia is going to run up. As simple as that. Okay, I sold Nvidia, but I'm holding AMD. So that is where my money is parked right now instead of Nvidia, is AMD. So both of these can go hand in hand, but you have to realize this is just a preview of what a strong tech stock tied up to AI can do. We have seen what Nvidia has done in the past. It just runs up, and it was like an uptrend for months and months and months. If you guys knew, when Nvidia went from $400 to $1,000, that was the craziest run ever in 2024, right? So And I invested around that time. So I bought Nvidia December 2023, and that full 5 to 6 months, this stock ran up like crazy. Okay, so averaging down is important if you're in for 115 plus. So I'm speaking for myself. So if you hold the stock below 115, consider yourself in a very, very good spot. I'm jealous of you. Okay, I'll say it over and over again. That is a golden zone, right? Because look at where you are at based on the chart. You are lower than the weekly lows. So 115 is lower than last week. So if you are lower than that, that means you're somewhere around here. Okay, 113, 112, and that was the start. That was the start of this month. So if you would have bought start of this month up till now, you would have been up 9 to 10%. You would have already beat the average yield, average return of S&P 500. So give and take, and AMD is back. It's indeed back, but these are profit-taking zones. This can get smacked out at 125. You know, I feel like that 125 that 125 level, 125, 128, those are levels where people get really excited, and if they're in for 113, they're going to pull their money out, so there's going to be a lot of sell-offs, and next month I feel like it's going to be a down month based on July 8th, based on tariffs being on pause for 90 days, and that's going to be over soon. So keep that in mind. You have to consider all these factors. When Nvidia went all the way up to 152, I think I was like, oh my god, I missed my run in Nvidia. Let me show you guys when that was. I think that was somewhere around here. I'm not too sure, but Nvidia had ran all the way up to like 140, 145. I'm like, oh my god, I think I missed the biggest play of my lifetime, blah blah blah. No, it got dropped all the way down to about $97, and it was there in April. It was there in mid-April as well. So you have to be able to hold on to these price points. I got my price points lined up. You got to buckle up. Yeah, you got to really be patient with AMD 110, 108 if you want to re-enter. Okay, fundamental news is not, as long as like the business is not filing for bankruptcy, or they have something that they delivered a chip that started like an explosion or something, and it didn't work very well. AMD is one of those stocks that can potentially go to 135, 140. I'm saying 140 middle of 2026, and I can see Nvidia going to 180, 190. But I do believe another pullback next month is going to be very sketchy. I want to see Nvidia lower than 135 to consider a re-entry. Okay, I know that sounds super crazy, but I mean, my expectations are high for that entry because I'm still holding on to AMD. And on top of that, I got reality income that is already up, and I have the S&P 500 that's doing exactly what it's supposed to be. Okay, we're at 603 right now. So a gap up and another gap. I mean, look at this, guys. This dip was bought like crazy tonight. People were on their charts, as simple as that. So the lowest today was about 599, and we go all the way up to 603. The S&P 500 is back. But do realize it takes one news article, it takes one headline for this stock, for this ETF to be knocked back down. For example, look at April, right? April was the month where you would have made money. You make money when these stocks are down because it just opens up the gates for you to buy in. And that's exactly what I did. I started averaging down. So there's that. AMD is back. I want you guys to buckle up. Okay, just be patient. Take profit when it's needed. That is it for the video. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe. I think the stock can go 130, 135 by the end of this year, by November, by October. I'll be holding till at least 130. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe. I have my price points. Do you? Comment down below in the comment section, please. Thanks for watching.